Whoa. Whoa. It's it's minifigure illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. Whoa. 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 We are we are here. Present and accounted for. Thursday night in the dream. Yeah. Still moving forward here. We are decommissioning the big one. Thing's big. A fantastic set. I didn't make it into the boat yet. I have the pieces for that right here though. The actual continued the boat pieces. Oh, Gunler, dude, right on schedule, man. Look at that. Look at Gunler. Pulling in promptly. So yeah, we're what's up? Grateful Ed. Brickage action. Yeah, we're tearing it down, man. This is number bag 15, the conversion bag. When you want to make it into a full-blown set. So we'll start there. Bam. I don't even know where to start ripping this thing apart. I have that one in boat form. Yeah. I think when we rebuild it, we're going to put it in boat form. This one's rad. I think this was a really well done set. So I even have my book here because I got to break it down into some reasonable bags. So we're going to break it down. I think we're going to break it down all the way down to the back section. In the back section, yo. And yeah, we could get after it, dude. Might be the best name in the tribe. Grateful Ed. Yeah, right? It's a super good name. So we should look at the end product here. Let me see. Make sure I got everything we're supposed to have. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know, dude. I think I just got to go for it. I need a cannon. I need a cannon for this part. I think that's everything, man. I think that's everything. All right, let's get after it, right? Let's get after it. This, I guess, can go over here. Boy, oh boy, it's going to be quite the project. How's everyone doing out there? Yeah, Stanley YouTube Rick's pretty good too, man. I'll give Stanley YouTube Rick pretty good, dude. You're stuck with yours, Gunler. You're stuck with yours. All right. How does this thing come apart? I forget. I think this comes off first. Part 1. The removal. There we go. All right, that's everything we're looking for right there. This thing did manage to get a little bit dusty. Yeah. The top, who has the top YouTube, top YouTube handle? I don't like taking cannons apart. I don't know, man. So how's everyone doing out there in the dream? We're just in like a standby day. We're waiting. we're just waiting on things now. We are, look at inside so that's the captain's quarters, man. Look at that. Look at the detail on that. The door. He's got his chair and his map and his bed. Captain's quarters is rad. He's got a statue with his Greek statue, the whole thing. It's a nice little set in there. Yeah, today I actually went and got the replacement plants for the hedge in the backyard. So last, height of chaos of 2000, I don't even know when it was anymore. When was all that drama going on a couple years ago? When all the drama was going on a couple years ago, I was like, oh, I better grow my own food. So the only place to grow food was, I'd made a bunch of planter boxes, but they weren't going to cut it. So there's like an old planter box that's cement back there, but they had like hedge bushes growing in it. And I was like, I'm ripping that stuff out and I'm growing food there, and like, whatever, man. Could be the end of the world, dude. Worry about it later, right? So I ripped out all the hedges last year. And the dude I rent from was like, look, dude, it's cool, but you gotta replace that, man. When I go, of course, dude, of course I'm gonna replace it, dude. I'm not some freak. So today I took some cuttings of the cuttings of the hedges and went down to this rad nursery I had no idea about over in Moore Park, Sterling Nursery, and they had everything, man. Hung out, like, met some cool dude who runs the place. Talked to some old dude who's like, we're all gonna die. Some old timer was there, like, buying a tree, like, we're all gonna die. I go, no, we're not, dude. It's all gonna be fine, bro. I go, it's just a big show, dude. He's like, we're all gonna die. I'm like, dude, you don't really believe that. You're buying a tree, dude. You can't actually believe that the whole world's gonna blow up and be buying a tree at the same time to plant in the ground. It's ridiculous. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. So this old timer, he got all annoyed at me. He's like, well, and I just looked and I go, you know what, man? I go, if it's the end of the world, what are you gonna do about it anyhow, dude? I go, just go look up the World Economic Forum and get relax, dude. He just started talking to me, dude, about the whole thing, and because we were waiting on the farm, dude, because it's like a huge place. You need to like get in a Cushman and go drive around and look for all this stuff. So the guy started talking to me about like the Russians are all gonna die. We're gonna get nuked. It's like, come on, buddy. Come on, man. I just couldn't. I just don't think he saw the irony of like you can't believe we're all gonna die and be buying a tree to plant in the same. How do you hold those two opposing thoughts together in your reality? Like seriously, man. Like, how are you doing that? How are you keeping those two thoughts going at the same time? Like, why are you buying a tree? I go, dude, I'm leaving. I'm moving out of this whole jurisdiction, dude. How about that, dude? How about I don't even believe it, but I'm leaving, bro. It was all time, dude. There were a bunch of people at the nursery that were all masked up and stuff. I'm just like, dude, we're outside at a nursery, dude. So anyway, I went and bought my 6 hedge bushes to replace. I got to put them in the dirt tomorrow. It's like one big thing to get off the list. Oh, look at the captain's chair. Hey, captain's chair. Quick, grow a tree. It's the end of the world, dude. Quick, grow a tree, dude. There's not much time left. We got to get it in the dirt before the Russians bomb us, dude. It was too funny. And then I got home and I'm unloading the bushes, and I noticed the big envelope from the title company. I was like, oh, so I had to get in there and put my adult on and fill out forms for like an hour. Super serious forms, you know what I mean? And then race off and overnight it to the title company. And then I took Owl to go see his two friends, and they had a fantastic time together, just chopping it up. His two buddies from Sunday school. Met this real nice family from Sunday school, man. They're super cool. My buddy Alan. He came like, yeah, he's like the real deal, man. Super nice guy. It's funny, I had like we got the kids playing, right? Like you meet them in a park, the kids are playing for hours. I talked to this dude for like 2.5 hours, dude. Super chill guy, man. Super chill dude. He's one of us. So yeah, and then I came home and I was like exhausted. I had to take a little resty poo, like rest for a little bit. And then I put Al to bed, and I was like, again, like one of those things, I wasn't feeling it, but I was like, dude, kind of got to get this stuff done, and I want to get this Lego channel popping, dude. We're making headway, dude. And like, we are making headway on the Lego channel, dude. Are you closing on a home? Yeah, we're close. We're right there. We're just sitting here waiting for the underwriter to do what they do, dude. So we're just waiting on our fate. I think we're gonna be fine, man. God's running the show anyhow, right? Yeah, I'm like pumped, but I reached out to the lady at the bank today. I was like, is there anything we need to do today? And she's like, nope, we're all good. Have a nice weekend. I'm like, it's Thursday, dude. Basically, like, you're not gonna know anything till Monday morning at earliest, or Monday. So I don't know. Now it's just time to just hang out, dude. Hang out and be patient and remind myself that God is totally in charge, and it's not up to me to like get all like antsy, and it's all gonna be like, it's all gonna work out just how it's supposed to, right? It can't be any other way. But oh yeah, thanks. Well, we're not there yet, Joanna. We're not there yet. We're close. That's why I've been doing a lot over here on this channel, is just to like, this is like the friendly crowd. Oh, you need a wrench, Joanna, dude. You're totally a loyalist. BB needs a wrench too, dude. This is the channel where I get to chill out and talk about it. Too many weirdos on the other channel to talk about what's going on. They'll try to manifest like failure. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're here. We're just blowing off some steam, just being super patient and like letting it happen, man. Just kind of letting it spool out. Just it's gnarly, man. It's like that's like the thing. You're like, it's weird. You're just sitting back waiting for someone else to decide your fate, man. Like waiting for the machine, like to decide your fate. Like what's happening next. And it's not all like it's like a full like wait. Like I'm gonna wait. So, but everything's been moving super quick. I'll be pumped when it's over, man. But oh, thank you, Joanna. Yes. Audrey and I grew up with you now. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you're here. The journey's about to get interesting. It's about to take a full super plot twist. The new season. The new season on the show is about to start, man. I'm stoked. I want to get out of this season's show. It's funny, dude. This house here is just like this house is weird. Like we moved in right before it all went sideways. Like basically like 2 months before it went cuckoo. And we got super sick right when we moved in too. My wife got the whole thing in like the November before. When we moved into here in November of 19, right? And my wife immediately was laid out, just as you would expect, for 2 weeks. Ruined. We just were like, oh, it's just the gnarliest flu ever, dude. And then I got super taken out in the first week of January. Remember, I got all that staph infections, and Al got strep throat. We got rocked the beginning of, like, we were pretty much sick, like from the time we moved in till the whole thing really kicked off, man. Because I remember I missed on New Year's Day, I missed a pumping swell because I had the flu. Like I had the flu on New Year's of 2019 going into 20. So yeah, we like ended up here right in time for all the chaos, dude. So this house has just been like the refuge from the chaos. Like we're ready to like move on from the story, dude. You know what I mean? Like we never like we're super stoked we ended up here. Like, but like you got to realize, like when it all went down, like the first thing we split, dude, for like 6 weeks. We went up to hit out up in Montecito, up at our friend's compound. So like the first year, it's just been a weird trip, man. I mean, not that you guys all don't know, but we never really did get to truly experience this like neighborhood in its prime, because it's pretty rad over here, but you know, we're done with the freak show, man. It's time. Yeah, I'm super fired up to close on this whole deal and fill you all in on what it is, dude. Audra have been keeping up our immune system. Changa tea, focused on detoxing all the time, man. I don't even really worry about it on any level anymore. I don't think I ever really did, man. Those live streams peak COVID when you were at the compound were all time. Oh yeah, dude, right? Peak COVID from the compound, calling into City Hall, dude, and doing all that stuff. Remember I was battling with the city council to stop using the to refer to it as physical distancing, and yeah, the whole thing, man. Peak insanity from the compound, dude. What a wild ride, man. What a wild ride, dude. Dude, it's weird. Like, I fully forget it's like it's been such a nonstop weird scene on Spaceship Earth. Like, you really forget like how crazy it was a couple years ago. Like, it was nuts, man. We made it though, dude. We made it. So, you know, it just goes to show, dude, like, they can kick rocks, man. Uh-oh. What was that? What just went flying out of there? Uh-oh. Shoot. What was that? What was that piece, dude? We got to track that down. Where is it? Oh, there it is. What was it? Doesn't look right. Is that right? Maybe. I don't know. Here's the little galley in there, dude. Cooking it up. Little stove action. Little galley. The galley. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so it was one of those days, man. It was a full like little bit of like that, like taking exams. Word magic. Yeah, it's all been spell casting and word magic. We've really been like, those of us who have been tuned in, it's been amazing, like the just spell casting, word magic, the whole thing. Crow 777's been knocking it out of the park. If you guys aren't subscribed to Crow 777's like website, dude, that dude's handing out invaluable information right now. He had this dude on talking about jurisdiction the other day, and it was so like, there's so much empowerment going on over on the Crow 777 channel, dude. I just highly recommend. I don't promote a lot of stuff, but I will promote Crow 777, man. That dude's doing some really good work over there. He's one of us, or we're one of him. I don't know how it goes, but yeah, it's been a trip, man. It really has been a whole lifetime in a couple years, you know. I picked up my research. I did the opposite of what everyone else is doing. I'm why wear your butt on your, yeah. Nah, it's all been super obvious, man. That's the crazy part about it, dude. Super obvious. But it's okay. Some people just don't want to see stuff. I'm fired up, man. Like I said, There was nothing symbolized it more than the dude today buying the tree going, we're all going to die in a nuclear holocaust. I'm like, dude, that is so good. It really was like amazing, dude. Because I couldn't tell if he was like coming from the conservative doomsday squad, like an old, because he kind of had that vibe, like he might have been like a conservative type of dude. But then I was like, maybe he's like doomsdaying from the liberal perspective. I was just like, it was just so fascinating just listening to this dude try to just get me to buy into the whole like, well, if you're not worried about like, if you like, I told him, I go, dude, that was my hotline too. I looked at him and I go, he had his tree all loaded up and, we're all going to die and the Russians are coming to get us and the whole thing. And I looked at him and I go, dude, you're going to get on the 101 right now, aren't you? He's like, yeah. And I go, you're more likely to die on the 101 than getting nuked today, bro. He just shook his head and old timered away, dude. Boomers. Those crazy boomers, man. They're still living in that with that weird Cold War mentality, dude. They just really can't let that Iron Curtain thing go, can they, dude? It's like they were robbed or something, dude. You're getting on the 101, aren't you? He didn't even get what I was saying, dude. He was just baffled. I wasn't triple concerned about the Russians, dude. It's like, bro, no. I'm not concerned about the Russians at all. I'm just concerned trying to figure out if I'm going to be able to fit 6 of these bushes into my car. You should have seen the dude pack the bushes into my car. It was like all time, dude. This dude got in there, stacked all these hedges in the back of my truck. And he's like, all right, when you get home, you're going to have to lift it and twist so they don't break. Remember, lift and twist so they don't break, dude. Like, I don't know how he got all these things in my truck, dude, but he did. And I followed his instructions perfectly, lifted and twisted, and they all came out unscathed and perfect. I was like, damn, dude. I was laughing with this guy. He's like, you want me to load it in the car? I'm like, yeah, dude. You're the man. You're the man. Get it. I don't know how to load these. I go, dude, if it was a stack of 2x4s, I'd know how to load it, dude. You're the plant whisperer. Then it was weird. I went by a Chinese military base where you get your lumber supplies today, right? So I went by the Chinese military base where you get your lumber supplies. It was freaking deserted, man. It was absolutely deserted. I was tripping out. I've never been at the orange military base when it's been deserted ever. It really kind of tripped me out. I was like, whoa, there's nobody here on a Thursday evening at 5:30. Like, what is going on here? Oh, you know what? That's printed, man. That gets a baggie. That's a printed piece. Bag and tag. That's right, dude. Orange County, Jackson. Where's the brick ship Earthmock? We're working on it. When we get set up with the new setup, dude, we're gonna get Lego with it, dude. All right. I'm gonna make like a sun-free, dust-free So, dude, I stumbled onto this weird video today, right? And it kind of blew my mind. So I found this weird video today, right? And it was about it. Wait, hold on. Let me finish this noisy part. All right. That's 11 to 14. What set is this? This is 3 2 1 3 2 2 2 1 3 2 2. And what it gets a dude. Oh, which dude does it get? Oh, it gets a pirate man. It's a pirate man. So I watched this trippy show today. What's up, Marvin? What's going on, dude? You need a wrench too, dude. So I watched this trippy show today, right? Not show, like a little 7-minute thing. It just came up on my feed, and it was about, all it said was making diesel fuel out of plastic, right? And I'm like, oh, well, I wonder what that's all about. Curious, right? Who wouldn't be curious at that? So I flip it on, and it's this trippy dude who's living on this weird island on the Caribbean side of Nicaragua, or one of those countries down there. He lives on this little island, and he's talking about how he's all super self-sufficient and his thing. And he's like, yeah. And I collect all the plastic and I make diesel fuel out of it. And I'm like, what? And I run my generators on it and stuff. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute, dude. So I went down the bunny hole on this thing of like, wait a minute, you can, and dude, the process of making hold on, of making diesel fuel out of plastic is so dumb basic. I was tripped out. I'm like, wait a minute, dude. We've been sitting on this info the whole time. It was tripped me out. Literally, dude, you melt the plastic in like an airtight container with basically you make a still, and you boil the plastic, and it fumes up through the still and condenses down into like diesel fuel, dude. And the dude fired up his generator with it. And I was like, what? It totally it totally was one of those like radical pieces of information you need right at the buzzer. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's going to come in handy, dude. Like, the process is pretty easy, dude. And I was like, you're telling me, dude, and I instantly was like, I need to get a diesel truck or diesel car and like just be on the ready. It was super trippy. It was really basic how this dude did it. And then he went on to about his whole aquaponic garden he's got going on with this tilapia fish. And I was like, this dude's got it going on. And his whole thing is like, yeah, dude, we just live fully off the grid, and we make coconut soap and we sell it. And we got the indigenous people making their stuff. And like, this dude had it going on, dude. This weird trippy hippie dude with this trippy hippie chick, man. And I was just like, that's rad, dude. Just in his little weird island off the coast of It must have been Nicaragua, man. I think it was Nicaragua. So I'm getting all like I'm realizing I'm getting into that whole I'm getting ready for the new mindset. The future primitive thing. The real future primitive stuff. Because again, I've been tripping out on like this one thought, and it's not like a unique thought of mine or anything. It's just I've been really like kind of drilling down on this thought that like one of the great spells that's been foisted upon us all is everything super complicated. And I'm like, no, it's not, dude. That's not how nature is super simple in its complication, right? Like when you really observe nature, it's pretty basic, but it's super involved, like, how like a bee lands on a flower, but it's like light we can't see, but it can see. And it's all these interesting things. And I was like, I've been like tripping on the hustle that we've been foisted on, that everything is like super out of our grasp. The scientists know better, the smart people know better. And I'm like, I've been like, again, observing nature. And, once you realize that like dandelions are like a super healthy thing, and all like half the stuff we think are weeds in our garden are actually like super beneficial herbs and remedies and stuff, and it's all right in front of our face, and so I was watching this hippie dude with his compound in the jungle, and I'm like, and he lived there for like some crazy amount of time too, like he had a scene dialed, man, like dialed. And I was like, all right, if this, and he didn't look like the sharpest tool in the shed. I mean, you know what I mean? It's tough to take those hippie types seriously, but like he had it going on, man. You could not deny he was living it. And it just really astounded me, this whole thing with like converting, because it totally made sense. You got to remember, like I took like chemistry in college and stuff, like, so this dude was like, yeah, you put the stuff in an, because all plastic is just carbon chains anyhow, dude. So it's like it's all right there anyhow, dude. It's just breaking up the chains. And so I was watching this thing and I was like, yeah, that makes total sense, dude. Like the whole point is you melt the plastic without it being exposed to oxygen. It's the whole thing. You got to melt the plastic without it being exposed to oxygen. And then, so I watched the hippie dude, right? I'm like, all right, the hippie guy, dude, like, okay, dude, hippie dude's got this crazy technology going on in the jungle, dude. I'm like it was like Mosquito Coast or something, right? And so I was like, all right, let me go check it out. And then I went down the bunny hole for like an hour before I turned this on. And I was like, holy smoke, dude, this is like not unknown. And then I just sat there for a minute and I was like, wait a minute. So you're telling me all the people complaining about all the plastics and the plastics thing is like, you mean we could literally just be like fuming this stuff off in like closed loops and making like fuel out of it? Instead, it's just covering our hillsides and floating in the ocean and stuff. I was like, this is crazy, dude. I mean, it wasn't like just one dude. I would like, there was like the super coordinated geeky There was like a geeky, like I watched the geeky science guy do it. I watched the geeky science guy make his own diesel fuel out of a bunch of plastic bottles, put it into a car, and start it up and drive away. I was like, all right, dudes. Do I believe in perpetual motion? I'm gonna bite it. I'm gonna say it like this. I do, but not in how they convince you of perpetual motion. Like I think that the whole life cycle is the perpetual motion machine. That life in its infinite wisdom of godliness and reality is in perpetual motion, right? Like, they try to do the thing where like the thing feeds itself to make a little like water wheel or whatever. I go, from my perspective, again, the hydrologic cycle on planet Earth, the hydrologic cycle on spaceship Earth is pretty much a perpetual motion machine. Requires the outside heat of the sun to work, but just keeps going. So I think that where the whole perpetual motion thing falls apart is everybody wants to think of it in a mechanical terms versus like godliness. Like God in itself is perpetual motion, right? If you understand what God's offering with eternal life, and the whole thing is like God is offering perpetual motion. It's just that we're trying to translate it through the interest-bearing currency trinket model, dude, of lack. What if perpetual motion is a bigger concept, but we try to like dumb it down into like some little gizmo? You know what I mean? Oh, what's X? What's X sending me here? Cancel. Wait, why won't it let me? Yeah, I can't do that. Oh, so actually, so you're getting what I'm saying, right? Like it. What if it's way bigger than we think? It literally is like, how they say that the butterfly flaps its wing on the on one side of the planet and cause a hurricane on the other side of the planet type of thing. What if it's so much bigger and grander and more intricate than we can ever imagine, but we're trying to use the perpetual motion machine to solve like our like temporary earthly energy struggles, right? And what if it's already here? That's what if the ether, and I mean, that's what I get into the whole thing of like, what if why are we trying to do something that we're inherently gifted to do by saying that we need to invent some machine for it? What if it's the sort of the weird way of this is like, I trip on it like this. You know how people trip on telepathy? Like, I communicate my thoughts to like another mind, right? And and I got it. It's not verbal in its thing. But if you just remove the thing for a little bit, that's exactly what we do all the time. It's what facial expressions are. That's what all these things are we do. And so, yeah, you can throw in auditory too, but you can convey thoughts in all sorts of ways from mind to mind, right? But we're so caught up that it has to be not involving any of the, the tactile realities of this lower dimension, that I think we fully like short circuit on what like telepathy would be, and I got it. It's like, well, I could talk to someone on the other side of the planet, or the realm, I should say, without using any form of communication other than my mind. And I think we already do that. We just don't know. It's, you ever read that book, The 100th Monkey, right? You guys know what book I'm talking about, The 100th Monkey? is so the 100th Monkey is basically the book about, it's a short book. I highly advise everyone read it. It's pretty basic concept. It's basically, they teach there's two islands with very similar populations of identical type monkeys, right? And so their two islands are separated by an amount of water where they couldn't possibly like swim from one island to the other. Like the monkeys are in isolated populations on these two separate islands. So the scientists go in and they teach. So these monkeys eat some like tuber, potato or sweet potato or something, right? So the scientists go in and they teach one island of monkeys that if they wash their little monkey treat in the ocean, it like gets seasoning on it, salt, basically. If they go wash their tuber in the ocean, it gets salty and it tastes better. So the one island, they teach the monkeys on the one island to go down to the water's edge and wash their sweet potato in the ocean, right? And they love it. Yummy, yum, yum. Yeah, tasty, dude. Well, the scientists observe that it spontaneously starts happening on the other island, right? That nobody went and showed the other monkeys on the other island what to do. No monkeys communicated between the two islands. It's just that the other monkeys just started doing it. And I'm convinced that we're collectively already in all of these weird things they tell us are like, freak show, sideshow, circus stuff. Like, dude, like telepathy is something that like, some ancient civilization did, or genies, or dudes with turbans, or whatever the weird story they tell you, the freak shows at the circus, right? And I go, what if we're doing it all the time and we just don't know? How many times have you sat back and been like, I'm thinking of so-and-so, and then like within 24 hours, that person's like calling you on the phone out of the blue, like, hey, what's up, man? I was thinking of you. Are you sure you didn't just put the metaphysical signal out? Because if you check out quantum mechanics and all of that kind of stuff, it's like, there is no separation. We're all connected. And we've totally been like convinced that it's some sort of far out thing to do all this stuff. And I argue that it's not. It's totally in our right at our fingertips, all of this stuff. But we're waiting for teachers to like teach us, like, oh, somebody's gonna come and teach me telepathy, dude. Right? I got to go to like, guru school or genie school or whatever kind of weird school you go to like fulfill your telepathy card, right? And I go, what if it's all Eckhart Tolle? There's no need to go get a teacher. It's just to realize you can do this stuff, right? You can do telepathy. It's only you telling yourself that you're not, that enables you not to do it. Like, what if the spell is so dumb simple, right? What if the spell is so stupid simple and we just think it's this complex like spell casting thing? Is what if the spell is just simply I can't? I had a thing today with Owl. So Owl's doing karate, right? He goes to karate, and they use doing the nunchucks, and he's got to do the figure 8 one with the nunchucks, but he can't like do it. He's like, it's like he just can't do it, right? So I was trying to show him how to do it, and he was literally like I can't do it. And I go, but you can. And I'm trying to show him how to do it. And he like fully shut off, like drone, like just fully turned off the data banks, dude. And we kind of had a thing about it. but it was super interesting. We're like, he literally was telling himself, because our big thing is that I won't let him use the word I can't. Like, I can't is probably the most profanity laced word you can speak in this house, as far as I'm concerned. Right. I don't want him throwing around the F-bomb, but as far as I'm concerned, there's no lamer word than I can't. Right. So I think that it's like that. I think we just run around going, telepathy is some far out thing. What if we can do it? We just can keep telling ourselves it's not happening. No, it's not happening, man. Like, what if we're doing it all the time, but we're so what if part of the psyop and the programming is like telepathy is supposed to be like there's some person talking inside your head going, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh, well, and you're talking, right? But what if it's super subtle? What if the concept of communicating from mind to mind on to the other side of the realm is subtle? What if it's super like beyond our like ability to explain it, subtle? And it's not words that are coming through, it's impressions, right? The dude on Crow 777 last night about the crypto stuff. Again, I'm not a crypto guy, but you can donate to some if you want. There's links down below. But he was talking about how like the big thing that like one of the things that like with like that each kind of crypto is a different perception of like the reality. And he was talking about like Ethereum or something. He's like, look, Ethereum is basically a crypto that is an impression of like I don't know how he was breaking it down, but it's sort of what I'm talking to you about with the telepathy and stuff. Is what if these things are so much like simpler, and we've tried to like mythologize them that we've dumbed ourselves right out of it by like thinking we need to be too smart, right? What if that's like the big fraud the scientists are really laying in on us? Is like, no, you got to jump through all these hoops to do that. And what if we don't have to jump through any hoops? What if literally we can take, what if the greatest gift we've ever been given is all this excess plastic everywhere? And we've been totally convinced it's garbage when we could really just go collect it all, put them in a no oxygen thing, heat it up and turn it into like some fuel and then collect even the byproduct from that and do stuff with it, dude. What if all the answers are just right at our fingertips, but they've been just convinced us to look at it as garbage? Like, oh, that's garbage, bro. You can't use that to like, that's garbage, dude. That's toxic waste. I don't know, man. I just strip out on some of this stuff, dude. Charlie's here. We need to give Charlie a wrench, dude. He needs a wrench. Oso's here. You get a moderator too, dude. So, I start thinking about like it really is. We've really been sold just this weird bag of goods that everything's out of our grasp. And I go, but what if it's not? What if this whole thing of we've been convinced of is like who's smart and who isn't smart is the biggest con job ever? Because it seems to me that the smart people are absolute idiots at this point. Like, they don't know anything, dude. They're like, all they really can do is build a better mousetrap. Like, yeah, dude, like. All right, there we are, dude. is this? This is 8 to 8 to 10. 21322 21322. Oh, we're already an hour deep, dude. Yeah, the diesel from the cooking grease doesn't interest me like the plastic bottles thing does. Because cooking grease, like, whatever, dude, that's not even that, like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, that's almost benign. What struck me on it is this dude was literally on this little tropical island, and he's like, look, dude, so much this trash just washes up on the shore, and that's how we power our generators, and we use the power from our generators to help the locals here chip up their coconuts grinders so that they can make their local. It was all about how he was using what we've been told is garbage to make a local economy for this little island. And he was all about being self-sustained. And he's like, look, man, like this stuff that washes up on our beach, we can use to sustain ourselves, to power our little machines. Like, we don't need, it's already here. And I was like, yeah, exactly. Little piggy, dude. That's what I'm talking about. He's like, look, it's already here. Like, it's washing up on our beaches regardless, dude. So we could, like, what are we supposed to do with it? I make it into gasoline. I go, that's what I'm talking about. Because that stuff's everywhere. There's plastic bottles everywhere. Cooking grease is kind of, a headache, dude. You got to find a restaurant and this and that. Like, and then, they're closing all the restaurants, dude. But the plastic, and I was more into it for like power generating of generators, right? Not so much like powering like cars and stuff. More like, getting, like, you have your little generator on your property, right? And generators require a huge amount of stuff, right? If you're post grid collapse, right? There's going to be plenty of plastic post grid collapse. And I was like, oh, that's fascinating. Something that can be done with all the plastics. Yeah, look, Jerry, we can do something with all the plastics. We don't need to sit and look at them as a burden. What if they're just another thing we can gather off of the land and use it, and at the same time, clean things up a little bit, dude. 2:10 a.m. Wow. Oh, okay. You're Midwest. Yeah, get fired up, X. Not only can they use it on an island with modern tech, they could totally use that stuff for fuel. Just avoiding it. That's what I'm saying. We're going about this thing all wrong. Again, you have to understand is, like, I went to school in the 90s, right? To study environmental chemistry. Like, that was what I went to. I went and studied plastics at school. Like, and I had this gnarly professor, Professor Faust, who was like super gnarly scientist. He worked on like all those crazy telescopes and stuff, the array or whatever it's called out there in Arizona. Dude, he was like he's like the gnarliest dude I ever met, man, science-wise. Like, super cool guy, super cool, super brainiac, smart guy. And he's like, look, man, because we were all, I was like a full idealistic, like, environmental kid, and he's like, look, dude, the whole answer is plastics, dude. And I'm like, nah, dude, what are you talking about? He's like, look, dude, it's about plastics, man. He's like, once you've created the molecule and you get it into what it is, it can be forever used. You only need to create one molecule and you can use that molecule forever, because it doesn't just, like, the reason that plastic's such a disaster right now is because they're not using it, right? And so his whole thing was like, yeah, we can make all sorts of like plastics out of all sorts of organic materials, but by its definition, it is made out of organic materials, but that'll break down in all sorts of different ways if we want to do that. And he was all into it. But so it was like, I remember going to college and studying with this dude, and him blowing my mind about my perception that plastic was evil, right? And again, plastic's evil because it's not being used properly. So, one of the big things that I like, people get all mad at me about was like, and it's finally, dude, remember when I made that video? What? Joanna, you were around for this. Remember when I made that video, 6 years ago, about how the whole plastic recycling thing's a fraud and it's not working and they're lying to us all, and that dude was on the chat like blowing me up like, I'm work in waste management, you're lying and you don't know what you're talking about and blah 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 blah, and ripping into me. And I was like, no, I know exactly what I'm talking about. And now, how about now it's all coming out? They're all starting to uncloak with like, yeah, we don't recycle the plastics, and it's, they're gonna stop recycling plastic here pretty soon, dude. They've already kind of stopped locally, dude. But because again, the concept of plastics was that this is the way. So this is made out of plastic, right? If I keep this plastic out of the sun, out of UV rays, and I treat this plastic with respect, this Lego set right here has the potential to last a really, really long time, man. And let's say that I decided I want to use this plastic differently. This molecule without UV light, because UV light destabilizes it, this kind of plastic. That's why it'll start to bleach and get brittle and stuff. I could literally like reconvert this plastic back into like, if I wanted round, I could make it into squares, right? In the sense of like, plastic's very stable if you keep the loop local, right? The whole concept of plastics is that once you've added energy to it, right? So they made the plastic molecule, right? Which required energy and petroleum products and chemical plants and the whole thing. But once they made this molecule of it, right? This molecule of plastic is pretty stable, dude, right? You chip it up, all you got to do is add heat and press it again or extrude it or do what you got to do with it. But once the plastic molecules had the energy investment to make it, what makes it like a harmful thing to the environment is to not keep reusing it, right? So when they came in with the plastics, the whole concept was so if you look on the bottom of a plastic bottle, right? Like this plastic thing right here, it's got the little thing right there in the corner, the little triangle, right? This is probably a number 2. See, this is a number 5, right? See, number 5's not recyclable with our standards because number 5's a mix of stuff. So number 5 is to have the ability to be flexible and it's this kind of plastic, right? Because it's food storage and whatever. It's got to have like cold temperature capabilities and all that kind of stuff. But your average plastic's like 1 or 2. That plastic, if you don't ship it out of your community, right? So you bring in the molecule that is the plastic molecule, right? You bring that molecule into your community. You made it at a factory. The strict environmental regulations of that factory kept the scrubbers clean and you didn't spill stuff in the water and blah, blah, blah. But so you bring in the molecules of said plastic and base and you bring it in. Instead of bringing it in products, you don't bring it in cups and plastic wrap and stuff. You bring it in raw form plastic chips, let's say. You get it here. In your community, you're supposed to have like a plastic, like constituting plant, right? Like a plant. And you could have one in your house. The way it was supposed to work, you'd ultimately have one in your house. You would ultimately have in your, let's just say, keep it in your house. This is the way it was all supposed to ultimately go over the course of time. In your house, you would have a machine about the size of a refrigerator. You would take your stuff and you would go, all right, I want some forks and a plate and a cup for the day, right? And that machine would, 3D printers basically, print out that cup, right, for you to use. And you would use it, and then you would be like, all right, I'm done with that cup. Clean it off, rinse it out, dry it. You feed it into the other side of the refrigerator thing, and it's a chipper, a shredder, like, you know, just like you shred paper. It shreds it all up. And then those shreds go back into the thing, and they sit there and they wait for the new, I need a piece of paper today. So the whole concept of plastics, if we were doing is everything would be made out of plastic, the paper, the everything, the chair you're sitting on, the clothes you wear, right? And you would literally be able to feed it into the chippers and reconstitute it. The whole concept of what plastics were supposed to do was you were supposed to be like basically get your human allotment of plastics. It's sort of like utopian idea. It's like me as a human being, they could figure out you probably need, 500 pounds of plastic for your life, right? And that 500 pounds of plastic you would constantly be reusing and reforming into new things as you needed them. So like, all right, so like you have a chair, right? You have a chair and the leg breaks. You're like, oh, the chair finally broke because I was standing on it or doing whatever I want. Well, it's made out of a plastic. You feed it into the plastic chipper. Blah, 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 blah. It sits there and you're like, okay, I don't need that chair anymore. But what I do need is I need a new surfboard, a new skateboard, a new steering wheel for my car, whatever it is. And you would go, and it would make you that thing. And when you're done with that, you would just feed it back into the chipper, dude, and be like, I don't need that anymore. So it'd be like this, like moving right now. I would just take all this plastic of all this stuff and just throw it in the chipper, dude. And I'd be like, I need a new Lego set. And it would just chip one out, for like extrude one for me. So it's again, we're getting lied to because the plastics world was super organized in the early 90s, like super organized. Like it was about to like round the corner because I was telling you, I was in school for it with this dude was blowing my mind. And he's like, all we got to do is get people to understand that plastic is their friend. And when they do that, they'll realize that you only need a certain amount of plastic molecules for your life. And once you've manufactured that certain amount of plastic molecules, they can be made into anything continually. And then ultimately, you don't need to make plastic at a certain point because you would just give your plastic molecules when you died to your grandchildren and be like, here's grandpa's allotment of plastic and make with it what you will. So I sit on this kind of like, this is the kind of stuff I got going around my brain, right? I'm like crazy guy. This is stupid. Spaceship Earth right now is run by complete morons. You're telling me some dude like was part of this thing. Like you're telling me some surfer guy with a skateboard and a Lego set in 2022 knows that we're getting denied the truth. Because plastic is only harmful if it's not managed properly. The minute you take plastic, right? The minute you take plastic and you ship it out of your community in a dirty diesel truck, right? In a garbage truck, that's the minute plastic becomes toxic. It's literally supposed to come into your community and stay in your community. That was the whole concept of it's not supposed to go to the landfill. You were supposed to cherish your plastic, right? Like the reason recycling doesn't work is people don't clean their plastic. They just throw plastic with food in it, right? You know, when you go recycle plastic and you've left the milk in there or the mayonnaise or whatever it is, that whole batch of plastic's ruined. Like that's why the plastic people can't even use it, because they didn't bother to teach anyone that, like, no, dude, like you need to like clean out the plastic. So the whole concept was your chipper where you cleaned your plastic in your kitchen. You wouldn't have a dishwasher. A dishwasher is an environmental catastrophe. Washing dishes, environmental catastrophe, dude. The whole concept was you would have your dishes, you would feed it to the chipper, and the chipper would like clean it with like a limited amount of like water and stuff and just clean it up and shake it out and, you know, and you would like, it almost, talking about it almost makes me feel defeated. Because I'm like, dude, really, dude? It's that dumb simple, dude. That's what I'm trying to say about the whole thing. Like, we've been totally lied to about like what the technology, because I believe in technology, dude. Like, that's the weird thing, is as much as I'm like a full like get back to nature kind of guy, I know that the answer is technology. I know that God gave us the technology to use. God gave us the technology to free ourselves. Nikola Tesla, dude, go look into the dudes who built the Bonneville Power Administration and see what their whole trip was about, dude. When they see what they were about when they built the dams on the Snake River, and you go, well, you know, it's a little crazy they did that, but they had a really, really beautiful idea behind them. But the same thing that happened to the Bonneville Power Administration is the same thing that happened to Tesla. We got to make money on this, don't we? We got to make interest-bearing currency on this stuff, dude. So, as I told my super liberal environmentalist friend who works for the NDRC, who's like uber influential, who's always like trying to save stuff, I go, look, man, if your number one environmental cause isn't ending interest-bearing currency, you're never going to save the environment, dude. You will never save the environment as long as interest-bearing currency is plaguing this planet, dude. Because that's how all the corporations are getting away with what they do. And the whole thing, and it's like she just doesn't want to get it, because like it's not all fluffy and sexy, dude. It's not fluffy and sexy like, you know, a chunk of rainforest or, you know, bumblebees or whatever. It's like, yeah, you mean I got to take on the bankers? Yeah, if you want to save the planet, got to take on the bankers. Yeah, you care about the old growth trees, take on the bankers. And if you don't believe me, go look at the Headwaters Forest up in Northern California and see what that was all about, dude. And see why BP Lumber, was it BP Lumber? What was I forget the name of the lumber company. Why that one of the most sustainable lumber companies on the planet was leverage bought out by David Horowitz, and they liquidated their forest, dude, because of interest-bearing currency, not because of logging companies, because of the S&Ls bailouts, dude. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm rambling about now, dude. I think I'm only gonna finish this part, dude. I think I've spun myself off the map with plastics, dude. I think I'm high on plastics. Not one, but two, baby. Oh boy. All right. Where does this stop? Is this? That's right there. That's number bag 6. Yeah, dude. Yeah, little dude. Yeah, we'll give you a wrench, dude. You seem cool. You seem cool, little dude. Don't blow that wrench, man. Dude, the best is when this channel's finally gonna blow up, dude. When we finally get it monetized and it goes out, it's gonna be epic because people are gonna show up here and we're gonna be so wrench heavy, dude. Moderator heavy, and it's gonna be like, yeah, dude, we take care of our own. See, this is my sort of thing. It's like this is my proof of like how it should work too. It's like everybody should be a moderator, dude. Everybody should be a cop. Everybody should have the responsibility of keeping the community organized, right? It's up to you. It's your community. I'm just the dude taking Legos apart, ripping plastic hits, dude. Booyah, baby. Booyah. Yeah, everyone gets to be a cop in my world, dude. Wow, that's a pretty thick bag of. I gotta take this out. That's let's see. Whoa. All right. Two, 1, 3. All right. Okay. Hey, thanks for hanging out on the big ship decommissioning. That's right. What you do with the ship, right? You decommissioned it. We're decommissioning it. We'll be back tomorrow for another round of shipbreaking. Shipbreaking, that's what it is, right? Shipbreaking. And there's that. Yeah, look, we got it. It's like a whole nother episode right there. All right. Let's wrap this. Let's go in and wrap this bad boy up, dude. Let's do a fun little check-in, chit-chat. We were talking some trash tonight, weren't we? Praise for my brother and family. Child of God, dude. Here. Ali Key. Prayers for my brother and family would be so appreciated. I got a couple shirts soon. Let's send some prayers out to Child of God, dude. I hope everything's okay, Child of God. We're praying. Child of God, go to that beautiful little chunk of land that we all helped save up there and just go get some spring bloom up there, right? So God's in that little chunk of land up there. I'm praying for you. And with that said, it's going to be okay. Yeah, we just all have to stay in faith right now. So be kind, use the name tag, smash the like button. If you could get one of the playlists going in one of your browsers right now so we can get the watch hours up, that would be awesome. And with that said, this is Minifigure Illusion signing off from somewhere on Brick Ship Earth. Keep on clicking bricks to make a better spaceship. Who was talking on your last rumble? Secret friend, dude. Someone who keeps just providing. I got another one of those coming, dude. Yeah, dude. It's my buddy. She's the real deal, dude. So anyway, have a beautiful evening, everyone, and let's just keep on doing it. All right, good night.